Now let's talk about the 20-position switch panel that's mounted on the console. This controls all of the appliances that we've installed in this boat. Parallel switch is the first switch on the port side. Pressing this button allows you to tie the batteries together if you should run one of them down if you're on a sandbar or at anchor and don't have your engines running. The next switch is your bait light switch. This turns on the bait light in both the port and starboard bait wells. Next we have bait well number 2. That will operate the bait well aerator pump that supplies aerated water to your bait well number 2. Bait well number 1 is the other bait well. That's the same. It also supplies aerated water to bait well number 1. Our next switch is for ACC number 1. We've left a few ACC accessory switches on this switch panel so that electronics installations can include aftermarket accessories that may need to be wired to one of those 3 switches. The macerator switch operates a pump that will evacuate water from the fish box. If you had ice that melted, or if you're washing the boat down and water gets into that box, you'll be able to remove the water from that box using the macerator. Bilge pump 3 and 2 are the bilge pumps that are located in the center aft bilge. Bilge pump 1 is the pump that's in the cabin. Keep in mind that the automatic mode for the pumps is always energized, and the red LED light will come on if the pump turns on automatically. If you press the button and the light stays red, indicating that it is not shutting off, that means you should check the bilge because it is pumping water. In the center of the panel, you'll see a switch that says windlass. Operating this switch is the first step to operating your windlass system. We'll cover that later, but this is the first step. In order to use your windlass, you'll need to turn this switch on. The navigation lights are turned on by pressing the nav lights button on the switch panel. The blue telltale light will come on when activated. This activates the red and green running lights, as well as the lights that are on the anchor light mast. There's a masthead light and a stern light that shines aft on the anchor light mast. If you decide you'd like to anchor at night, you'll need to turn on your anchor light. Next to the nav light switch, there's an anchor light switch. This will illuminate your 360-degree mast headlight and allow others to know that you're at anchor. The hardtop lights are 4 colors. They're energized by pressing the button 4 times to get to the various colors. To starboard of the hardtop lights, we have a spreader light switch. Spreader lights are 3 colors. Press it once for white, twice for red, and 3 times for blue. On the starboard side of the spreader light switch, we have another accessory switch. This will be handy for aftermarket installations when you're doing your electronics. The next switch has the cockpit lights. These are 4 color. Press once for white, twice for red, the 3rd time you'll be blue, and on the 4th push, the lights will turn violet. Next is the cabin light switch. This will turn on a courtesy light in the cabin to make it easy to enter when all of the cabin lights are turned off. Next we have a bilge light switch. Bilge lights are located in the compartment that's just forward of the center aft bilge. This is a machinery space, and on this boat it has a lithium-ion battery system that powers the AC side of the electrical system on this boat. Our next switch is another accessory switch which can be used for aftermarket installations. And finally, we have an underwater light switch on the far starboard side of the switch panel. This illuminates the underwater lights that are mounted on the stern of the boat.